Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank you all for gathering here today as we honor and remember our dear friend, Andy Quinones. Today, we dedicate his tree and bench to him, a lasting tribute to a man who devoted so much of his life to the city of Florissant. First, I'd like to introduce the people that are with us today. To my right, Andy's wonderful wife, Kelly. Andy's children, Jenna, Drew, his wife, Taylor, and little grandbaby, Parker. Andy's brother, Chris, his family, and his wife, Julie, are with us. Andy's mother, Susan's with us today. And, of course, the entire family. Thank you all for coming and spending some time with us, and certainly all the time that you guys allowed Andy to spend here at City Hall with us. We certainly appreciate it. Mayor Schneider's with us. Paul Maganelli, Councilman from Ward 2. Jeff Caputa, Councilman from Ward 4. Tom O'Donnell, Councilman from Ward 6. Jackie Pagano from Ward 7. Our Police Chief, Tim Fagan, and then the members of the Florissant Police Department, and many other staff members are here today. And, of course, our retired, I'll call him retired now, our City Attorney, John Hessel, another dear friend. I hope I didn't miss anybody, and of course all the staff that's here. Thank you guys for all coming out here. Of course, everybody's got a great memory of Andy, and I know that this has been a very difficult time here at City Hall, as everybody can imagine, as difficult as it's been, I'm sure, for the family. Andy was very loved here at City Hall. For 30 years, Andy was a dedicated public servant, a fixture at City Hall, and a friend to all. His commitment to our community was unwavering. He served with integrity, kindness, and a heart that cared truly for every one of us. It didn't matter if he's working on an important city project or lending an ear to someone in need. And he gave his all every single day. He was a retired police officer who dedicated nearly 3 decades to serving the residents of the city of Florissant. And he served as both as a police officer and in the mayor's office, leaving a mark on this community. This tree to my left symbolizes Andy's deep connection to our community. Like the branches that stretch outward, his influence reached far and wide, touching countless lives. And as this tree grows, so will the memories of his kindness, his laughter, and his love for the city. And here, this bench stands as a place of rest and reflection, just as Andy was a steady presence for so many of us. I can't think of a better tribute than having a spot where we can sit, remember him, and perhaps feel his spirit nearby. Andy was more than just a colleague. He was a friend, a mentor, and a beloved golf partner as we played in many golf tournaments together. He will be missed by all of us, and he will always be loved. Though he's no longer with us in person, his spirit, warmth, and dedication to the city will live on in our hearts and in life of this tree and the bench. Thank you, Andy, for all you gave. May this place be a reminder of your legacy, and may it inspire all of you who sit here and continue the work to begin with the same heart and commitment. Once again, I want to thank you all for coming today. Let's keep Andy's memory alive and carrying forward the love that he showed to each of us in the city of Florissant. At this time, what I like to do is I like to give to anybody that wants to speak an opportunity to come up and reflect on Andy. I know Mayor Schneider would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. That was a very good presentation. Andy served 3 mayors. He served Tim's father, Bob Lowery, and me and Tim. When I ran for re-election, I don't even think I would have wanted the job if Andy wasn't there to help. My favorite TV show as a youngster was the Cisco Kid, and I've had 2 people that I've called Cisco in my life. And one of them was my Vietnam buddy who I still see, Ray Gormley from Pennsylvania, and Andy. And he was my amigo, and we were very tight. Andy and I shared a similar taste in movies, and one of them starred Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson, and it came up continuously to break the tension that would come into the mayor's office. And Andy would start out with something like, I'm an educated man, but I'm afraid I can't speak intelligently about the travel habits of Private William Santiago.
I hear him saying that.
What I do know is that he was set to leave at the base at 6 a.m. Now, are these really the questions I was called to answer? He would go on and on. Phone calls and footlockers? Please tell me that you have something more, Lieutenant. These two Marines are on trial for their lives. And then I would say, the only thing I can remember was, did you order a code red? And he said, son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who's going to do it? I have a greater responsibility than you could possibly fathom. And then all I could say was, I want the truth. I think I'm entitled to it. I could remember those lines. And he'd say, you want me on that wall. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. We use words like honor, code, loyalty as the backbone of our life. You use them as a punchline. I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself. I would rather you just said thank you and went on your way. Otherwise, I suggest you pick up a weapon, stay on a post. Either way, I don't give a darn what you think you're entitled to. Did you order a code red? You're dang right I did. We miss you, Andy.
I could totally hear him saying that all the time.
Would anybody else like to step up and give a tribute to Andy? You know, I don't know if people realize how Andy got this job up here, but here at City Hall. So my father always needed somebody with him as a driver. And so some 20-something years ago, Sergeant Rich Miller was in his office, and my brother Bob was in charge of the uniform division at the time, and he needed a uniform sergeant back. So he finally talked my father into letting the sergeant come back, but we had to find somebody. So Bob came down to my office in a panic. He says, Tim, he says, listen, he says, Dad has agreed to send the sergeant back, but I got to find somebody to take his place. He says, we need somebody really loyal, dedicated, and somebody that can deal with the old man. So I looked around at the roster, and I said, Andy Quinones. And he says, do you think he'll take the job? I said, I will promise you, Andy will take the job if we ask him. So that's how we got the job up there 20-some years ago. True story. And the next day, he was at City Hall, and Rich Miller was on the street. And then the other thing I'll tell you is something that Andy told me every day, or at least several times a day, I think. He'd come in my office, and he'd sit down, and we'd be talking. And he says, you know, Mary, says, you have no idea what I do for you every day. I said, Andy, all I know is you're getting big, and I'm giving you a paycheck. That's all I know because you want to do for me. Let me tell you right now, Andy Quinones did a hell of a lot for me that I had no idea what Andy Quinones did, and he was 100% right, because when that void happened, believe me, it was a big void here at City Hall, and he did a lot for all of us. So. So I'll tell you what. Why don't we unveil the bench then? Unless you some
Can I just add just
you
one
step
little
you
thing?
step right in here. Absolutely. Love to hear from you.
I don't ever like the mic. But I have to tell you that you all were his family. Each and every one of you. He would come home and tell stories, and I might eye roll and go, what now? But he cared so much about a place that we grew up in, and we didn't even live here. I feel like I know you, but I don't know you, because he would tell me stories about you, your families, your grandchildren, what was happening. He would come home and with stuff he may have bought, or he would take my bags and set them out because he knew you all would enjoy them. You were his family. So I thank you, and I will forever be grateful for you. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I'll say something. No, I'll just say something real quick, because I know we didn't talk. We're still super grateful for the turnout, for his service, and I don't do mics either. Dang it. Yeah, we're okay. We're okay.
He's a good dude.
feel like I haven't been that sad recently. Been very at peace, but this is a happy cry because I know how much he was loved, and we are continuing to live through him, be the person that he was. You guys, he'd do anything for you guys, and I know it's a big mindset that I've been trying to live by, and I want. Andy was a big believer of when you're not in the room, what are people saying about you? And I know we all like to talk a lot about Andy, but man, that guy was a great dude. And I don't know a lot of people that have many bad things to say about him. So if there's anything that we've learned this past, 6-7 months, it's, be the person that Andy was and be somebody behind closed doors that you're proud of, that you're hearing about yourself. I'm very appreciative of everything you guys have done for the city of Florissant. My mom hit it on the head. We did not grow up here, but this is home to us. It really is. And I just want to say thank you. Appreciate you guys all.
So I did grow up here, and I've always been in my brother's shadow. Like, that was my thing. It was always looking up to Big Brother growing up. And, my brother was a very private person, and he loved everything about this city. Like, he was passionate, and his care for being a police officer, his dedication there to working alongside the mayor and all the different things. I have so many stories about so many of you that I've heard from him, and most of them I can't share with you in public. But to see all of you out here is amazing. My brother's memory will live on forever, thanks to all of you, all of this family. It has been a tough road every day, but like Drew had stated, the privacy that my brother had, but to see and hear all of the things that you guys said about him, and Kelly and I might actually be two of the only people who have so much dirt on him that you guys don't know, that might change some of your stories. No, but he loved all of you, and the impact that he had on all of you that was shared with us was so overwhelming, and we can't thank you enough for that. And this is just an honor. So we thank all of you for being here and just your time and what you guys mean to my brother and what he meant to you. So thank you.
Well, thank you guys. I mean, it's an honor to serve with Andy, and certainly he loved you guys a lot. I mean, I've heard that a lot. I know he loved that little baby a ton. Oh, Parker, we got to hear about that several times a day also. So we really appreciate it, though. And yeah. So maybe if you guys want to go over there and we'll unveil the bench.